What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video we finally have the Ultra League Battle of Spice Part 2. There are some absolutely outrageous battles this time around, so with that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. What's the most underrated Pokemon in the Open Ultra League right now? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, lead attack form Deoxys into Machamp, so a pretty good lead matchup. The opponent save swaps into Greninja, we're going to swap, we catch the move onto our Manectric, and this probably guarantees it will just be a Night Slash. Night Slash still does over 50% of the Shadow Manectric's health, and unfortunately they will make it to another move before we do Thunder Fang farm them down. So we do use a shield, we get the Thunder Fang farm down, the opponent comes back in with their Machamp, and we barely make it to a Wild Charge. This would do absolutely huge damage, so it does grab a shield from the opponent. We now come in with our Purified Banette, the opponent staying in. They are over farming so much here. We're going to go for a Shadow Ball, grabbing the final shield from the opponent, and they swap into a Dragonite. We're just going to stay in with the Banette. The opponent doesn't throw their energy, going for a Dragon Breath farm down, but they don't get there before we full send a Dazzling Gleam, one-shotting the Dragonite, and we swap back into our Deoxys. Unfortunately, we don't get off the charge boost straight away, but it doesn't matter. We still had one shield remaining, and we can go for a Psycho Boost, taking out Machamp, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we're going to be leading Yanmega into a Shadow, a Light, and Ninetales. So not a great lead. They are running Charm. That actually probably works out slightly better for us, just because obviously Powder Snow does mean they make it to the charge moves a lot faster. And Ancient Power does quite a lot of damage. We swap into our shiny Shadow Arcanine. The opponent staying in, allowing us to reach a Psychic Fangs before they swap out, and we grab a shield because of that. They now come in with a Heliolisk. We're now going to go for a Crunch. Crunch will do a lot more damage than the Psychic Fangs, and the opponent does let it go through. We're now going to shield our Arcanine here, and we will be able to make it to a Psychic Fangs before they do make it to the next charge move, and this should be enough damage from this range to take out the Heliolisk, and they do just let it go down. They come back in with the Ninetales, we make it to yet another Psychic Fangs in this matchup. Arcanine putting in so much work, they do barely survive. They're going to go for a charge move here, but it doesn't really matter. Weather Ball will be taking us out. We can come in with either Pokemon. We come in with the Relicanth, and they've got an Ampharos in the back. This is not looking too good for us, but we're going to go straight for an Ancient Power here. Ancient Power will be shielded by the opponent. We get the boost as well. We're now definitely going to shield as the opponent goes for a Trailblaze, boosting their attack by one stage, and they do make it to another charge move, but this will not be a Trailblaze. It's just a Brutal Swing, which we do live. We can now go for Ancient Power number 2. Remember, we are boosted, so Ancient Power takes out the Ampharos, and we're able to Water Gun, farm down the Ninetales, and take that game. Into the next game, we see Chandelure into a Galvantula. The opponent save swaps into Gelatin, so we respond with our Vikavolt. Now, we're not running Discharge, we're running Crunch, but it doesn't really make a difference in this matchup, as a Crunch should still be enough damage to take them out with a few more Volt Switches. So we go straight for the Crunch, and Crunch grabs a shield from the opponent. We go for a second Crunch straight away, wanting to either take them out or grab both shields as soon as possible, and we do get that final shield. They make it to another charge move. We are going to shield at the last second. It's actually a Bubble Beam bait, and then they outpace us. If this is a Shadow Ball, it will be enough damage to take out the Vikavolt, which is not great. We're electric type, and we just lost to a Jellicent, but we come in with the Pikachu. Unfortunately, we don't make it to the Wild Charge in time, but they can only make it to a Bubble Beam, so we actually bank the energy. We come in with Chandelure. We barely don't get the farm down. We have to throw a charge move, unfortunately, but Flame Charge will be taking out the Jellicent at 1 HP. They come back in with the Galvantula, and we do make it to yet another Flame Charge, and this will definitely take out the Galvantula, and they've got a Bomber Snow in the back, so this should be a very comfortable matchup for us. This Weather Ball will not be enough damage to take us out, and we're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball here, and Shadow Ball will obviously be enough damage to take out the Bomber Snow, and we take that game. Into the next game, we got Porygon 2 into a Sylveon. So we are, of course, running Lock On, Tri-Attack, and Zap Cannon, and we are going to go straight for the Zap Cannon here. This is going to go unshielded. It does big damage. We do get the attack drop, and this should allow us to live this move. It should just be a side shock from this point, and we do live that quite comfortably. Gonna go for a Tri-Attack here. This will be enough damage to take them out from this range, and the opponent uses a shield. Unfortunately, no debuff that time around, but it doesn't really matter. We come in with our Shadow Ampharos, going for the farm down. Unfortunately, they do make it to another charge move, so we're going to shield just another side shock, but we don't know what they've got in the back, and it's pretty good that we did preserve some of the health here, as we can't do anything with our Leafeon up against a Giratina, but Ampharos does have some very nice coverage in the form of Brutal Swing, so 2 Brutal Swings won't quite be enough damage to take them out, but these Volt Switches will start to add up over time. So we go for Brutal Swing number 2, grabbing the final shield. They do make it to a charge move, but we should be able to live this whatever they throw. It's just a Dragon Claw. We can now go for another Brutal Swing, and this will put them into farm down range. Actually, no, it just takes out the Giratina, and unfortunately for the opponent, they've got Greninja in the back. We've got a Leafeon, and a Leaf Blade will be enough damage to pretty much one-shot them. They do get the attack boost, but it's just not going to help them, unfortunately. Leaf Blade coming through, taking out the Greninja, and we take that game. So going into the next battle, and we've got a full Great League team here in the Open Ultra League, and a lot of the time when you do try and attempt a challenge like this, you've really got to target specific Pokemon, otherwise you're not just going to face random Pokemon that you can beat. But here we're going up against a Rampardos, and that's clearly not going to be the target for our team, because I don't think I've ever battled up against an Ultra League Rampardos, so a bit difficult to predict. I guess if you start losing Elo really quickly because of a challenge like this, I mean, I've been there at least in the Open Ultra League or in the Open Master League, where I've tried this for like a day, and then suddenly I've lost like about 500 Elo in just one day here. But we're going to come in, we over farm, and unfortunately the opponent throws on the CMB tie, so we're going to shield here. They go for a foul play, and we can now go for the Surf, and Surf won't quite be enough damage to take out a Houndoom in this league, but we should be able to just Spark Farm them all the way down, which is perfect for us. They come in with an Articuno, and this is actually looking really good. We can now go for a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt going to be super effective. Of course, it's not quite going to take them out, but maybe we should have gone for the Surf there. Instead, we bank the energy. We come in with the Toxapex, and the opponent goes for an Ice Beam. We will barely make it to a Brine before they do get the farm down. Brine still won't be enough damage to take out the Articuno, but we should just be able to farm down with the Lantern and go for a Surf straight away back into the Rampardos, coming back in, and a Surf will be enough damage to take out the Rampardos, and we take that game. But honestly, Rampardos probably as spicy as some of the teams that I'm showcasing in this video, so props to that opponent there for running something a bit different. But into the next game, we're going to see a Cryogonal. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make it to a Solar Beam very quickly up against a Swampert. I'm sure we'd all love to see that one shot, but we are going to go straight Night Slash, and the opponent did shield the first move, so that's quite nice. They're probably going to let this move go through, knowing that it is just a Night Slash now, as we swap into our Jinx. We are going to shield this up. I've also only just noticed that the Swampert is running Water Gun, and now they come in with Auroras. This is not ideal, but they go for a Weather Ball straight away, which is obviously resisted damage. Not a great play by the opponent whatsoever, and we can now full send a Focus Blast. This is going to be double super effective, and the opponent lets it go through. We one-shot the Auroras. They come back in with the Swampert. We actually get the Confusion farm down. We can go straight for an Ice Punch into whatever comes in. It's actually a Giratina, so this probably grabs a shield here. The opponent, knowing that we are an Ice type, could be running Avalanche as well, which would do a ton of damage. But we grab the final shield. We're looking to be in a pretty good position here, but we do have to be careful. We swap into Cryogonal, we catch a move, and the opponent is going to go for a Shadow Sneak, which is also not the best move to go for here, as if they're running Dragon Claw, which maybe they're not, then that would definitely be the move to go for. But here we can go for the back-to-back Dragon Claws. First one does some nice damage. The second one will be enough damage from this range to take out the Giratina, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see Toucannon into a Poliwrath, so a pretty decent matchup for us, although still not the best matchup ever. We are actually running Flash Cannon, it looks like, as coverage, which is very interesting, but we're going to go for a Drill Peck straight away, dealing super effective damage, but honestly, these counters have got us very low already, so we're going to shield the first move, they go for the Ice Punch, we are going to go for another Drill Peck. Unfortunately, our entire team is actually weak to Ice here, so we go for the Drill Peck. We might just let the Toucannon go down at this point. And that's exactly what we do. Unfortunately, we do lose the one shield scenario as a flying type. That is pretty sad, especially since we got a grass type fast move, and that was a Poliwrath, which is weak to grass. But here, we are unfortunately going to get slightly outpaced. We are going to let the move go through. It's just an Aqua Tail, which we do live fairly comfortably, and we're going straight for the Meteor Beam here. Meteor Beam is going to go unshielded. It does big damage, but we swap into our Groudon. And at this point, we should be able to maybe let this first move go through. The opponent base with an Acid Spray. Very good call. And at this point, we can just shield the next move. I mean, this might be another Acid Spray, but we'll play it safe. Go for the shield. They actually do full send the Dark Pulse this time around. And we can just go double Precipice Blades into the Drapion coming back in. The first one should be grabbing a shield from the opponent. No, they actually let it go through, calling a Fire Punch bait, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we've got a triple shiny team with Delphox. We're going to save swap into our Rayquaza, and the opponent comes in with Ampharos. Unfortunately, we throw on alignment there. Really bad timing. That gives them a full Volt Switch in for free, but then the opponent also throws on alignment there, so kind of counteracts that. So probably not the worst thing ever, but we would have made it to a second Breaking Swipe before they got to this charge move. They go for a Thunder Punch. We should be over farming, going for one extra Dragon Tail before throwing here, so just not very good timing all round. And unfortunately, a plane is also going overhead, so if you do hear that, I do apologize. But unfortunately, because of our bad timing, we actually lose that matchup. We come in with the Delphox, and the opponent can just come in with the Giratina, but we swap into our Staraptor. The opponent going to go for a charge move here. They go for Ancient Power. That does big damage. It looked like they got a boost there, but they swapped out into Obstagoon, which is not great for them because we can go for the close combat, one-shotting the Obstagoon. I'm not sure why they swapped out. Clearly not the highest elo play here, but we can go for a Brave Bird, and Brave Bird is going to do big damage to the Giratina. It puts them into range where we should be able to take them out with the Delphox, despite the type disadvantage here, as we're going to go for 1, 2, 3 Fire Spins, taking out the Giratina, and we take that game. And into the final battle of this video. Yes, I know Giratina is not spicy whatsoever, but we are running Shadow Force, but it's mainly the two other Pokemon that this trainer is running that makes this team so spicy. They go for a Shadow Ball on Lucario. We're going to bait with an Ancient Power. We didn't even farm all the way to the Shadow Force. Shadow Force does take a lot of energy. I believe 90 energy, the highest energy charge move in the game that isn't like Struggle, which is a really, well, the worst move in the game by far. But we're going to go for an Ancient Power here. Ancient Power is going to grab the final shield from the opponent. Another Ancient Power coming through. Ancient Power double resisted, but we get the boost, and that allows us to get the Shadow Claw farm down. They come in with a Primarina, so we come in with our Reuniclus here, running Hidden Power. I don't know which move, which typing it is. It doesn't really matter. We make it to a Thunder before they do get the Charm farm down, and Thunder will of course be taking out Primarina, and they've got a Venusaur in the back, so we swap into our Furret, and we are running Dig as a charge move that did get buffed this season. But more importantly, we are also running Hyper Beam, and we can double shield the Furret here. This Venusaur does have a lot of energy, but it doesn't matter. 2 shields, we can go straight for the Hyper Beam, and does this one shot from this range? It barely doesn't, but it doesn't matter. We get the quick attack farm down and take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you're wondering how to vote for your favourite spicy team from this video and the previous Ultra League Battle of Spice video, then I will be uploading the polls here on YouTube very soon, so do just look out for that. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.